Let's start. Today we have the subject distributed system technologies and parallel computations for first semester students, and we have laboratory work. For first, you for run the laboratory work, we need operation system with special compiler when we run your laboratory work. In our distant language site, we have a part when describe about how to using OpenMP from the Visual Studio. If you want, you may enable the OpenMP library in a Visual Studio IDE, or you may still continue running in a virtual box, for example, and in the virtual box install Linux operation system, and you have that way how to install Linux in Windows. I show you Linux for Windows 10 install. You may install Linux without any virtual box in a native operation system. This is link I put in your chat. If you want have Linux in a Windows subsystem, follow this instruction. How to install Windows subsystem for Linux. Construction is WSL, WSL. It's very useful way for you have two operation system at once. I have already installed this Windows, and you may try this way too. After you install Linux operation system, for example, you may you must install OpenMP library. How to install OpenMP library I show you now in these videos. Or you may type in a Google search string like this: how to install OpenMP in Ubuntu. Here I have Ubuntu 20 LTS version, 20.4 LTS version, and I try to show you how to install it from the command line interface CLI. For first we need check update for our system, and we type sudo apt-get update. You must need password sudo user. You must need have a password for sudo users. Now system updating all repositories, files and locations. It's very important step before you install library for OpenMP. Now we are waiting. When system updated. Which step you must to do independently at home. Maybe you have installed VirtualBox and Linux in them from previous semester because you study subject operation system and you have some experience how to install operation system. Maybe you remember it. I hope. Okay, now you have already updated, yes. And next our step, install special library for OpenMP. Copy this and put in our command line interface command terminal and run. Waiting when system download special library. Type yes to continue. And we need check does in your operation system exist GCC GNU compile C compiler. We may still studying follow this link and try step by step check our compiler if our compile run correct. Now we are waiting when all library for OpenMP installed and system updated. After that, this step we will check about GNU C compiler if it compiler installed in our operation system. After system complete with this update and install OpenMP. we're still waiting. Okay, now we are install libomp dev, and let's check about GCC GNU C compile. I don't remember about it. This. Oh, all right. And system recommended us apt get. It's not matter now. Sudo. Let's try how to apt how to remove. Now system are checking for some library and delete it. After that, in our operation system we will free some space. This library is not needed now. Okay, what's the next? The next we need to check when our C, classical C, is run. Waiting for updating system. We must need. Okay, now this step is complete, and let's try compile very easy, very simple, very simple code. Let's see. Make directory OpenMP, for example. OpenMP, and run the V editor. Step 1, C. Okay, and insert here this very simple code. right and quiet. Let's check. Step number 1. Cool. What next? The next, we need compile it. We have some errors. Let's try another link, for example, and check our compiler with OpenMP library. Okay. For example, we may check this link. We get good. Let's check OpenMP OMP LC. Good. And try to compile it. Not here. Here. For compile it, we need some compilers like ICC, GCC, I said later, PP, GCC, Clang, and for Fortran another. But Fortran is not for us now. How it's compiled you can see in this part of instruction after compiling. Like this. GCC minus F open MP and our example OP hello minus O and like this, waiting when compile complete all. Good. Let's see. We have a compiled file OMP hello executed file. After that, you need set environment. In this environment, we set how many threads we want to run with example. For example, 16. We need install some additional library for this. Set nvm how to install set environment in Ubuntu. Command line interface CLI. Waiting, then page loaded. Let's try install tcsh. Or we may write in another version. Not for set event. We may write command export. Let's try it too, because T shell is another bash. In a classical operation system in Linux we have bash. I think it's not needed step for us install this T shell, but let it be. We are still waiting when system updated. Okay, let's try another way. Export OMP num treats and set number 16 equal. Good. What next? this about compile. Okay, we set this and we need to run our program. After that, we run our program. Hello world. As you can see, we have randomized 16 threads. When we are set another number of threads, for example 4, and run again our program, we have only 4 threads. And how many threads we made to run, it's not independently for how many cores you have in your computer. It's not matter. You may set more threads, for example 40, and you have very many threads. For our example, we need only 8 and run it. Okay, let's return to our labs. This is your first lab. Is only how to install environment in your operation system and how to install OpenMP library. And if you wish, you may try install Ubuntu not in your local system. You can try to install, for example, Ubuntu Linux or Debian or another Linux on a Google Cloud platform. Here you have a video instruction about it. This step you may try independently at home. This is all what you enough for run task number 0 for this lab. And this is your first task. Very simplified, very easy for you. Exercise number 1, click here, and task number 1 for lab number 1. Set variable OpenMP OMP number thread 16 and run OpenMP hello C like me. And after that, modify your source code like here. You need to modify this code. I write for you some tips. You need modify code. After that, your program show only odd or even values of threads. Please use instruction if in your source code. After that, you may make the screen during the running laboratory and waiting and make the report. Your reports you must to upload to the Dropbox. here we have Dropbox. Lab number 1. When you upload it, files, I'll check it and put your mark for your work here. Okay, it's all for today for you. Thank you very much for